I'll get this underway. And again, any questions like that, we can smash them out inside this. So welcome everybody to a Wednesday Q&A session. So welcome one, welcome all. If you're watching this on YouTube or on record, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, and you will get every single week a glimpse into what all these beautiful people do here with us at Pinnacle Fitness Consulting. That is that. With that being said, if you have any questions, type questions in the comments section on YouTube. We will get back to every single one of you guys personally with any questions that you have in relation to any of the content we discussed today. And that is that. With that being said, new announcements. I'm going to share my screen here, guys. New announcement this week, I did on the sales training, great webinar yesterday. Sales training's always one of my favorite webinars of the week. Discussed this on there as well, but I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek in here. Inside the classroom in school, we put a brand new stage together called Cover Your Coaching Fast. So if anyone here is starting in a gym, i.e. Bethany at the moment, right? And if you are brand new and going into a gym, Cover Your Coaching Fast. What this does in here, guys, I've just simplified it. Like here at Pinnacle Fitness Consulting, when people come into this program and take action, they do not fail. We have 100% success rate of getting trainers to six-figure income status. 100. The amount of other coaching organizations out there, nothing against them, do not have records like that. And I pride myself on this record. But with that being said, what we've done to make this even more guaranteed, because there have been people that have come into the program last week, already covered their coaching. I know, obviously, Bethany just starting in her gym today, hasn't even started yet, signed someone up on 4 sessions, right? It's that sort of stuff, right? It will happen, but we want to make sure that it happens. So what we've done is we've combined a new training called Show Up, Structure, Strategy, Sales, and Success. So for sort of a 5 S's principle. Then from there, we're going to give you access to 6 trainings, which are from throughout all of the school content. So we're actually giving you some sales training, some business framework stuff, some marketing, and we're putting it into a polished way that you can make $250, because that is the coaching fee to work with us per week here at Pinnacle, to cover that quick. As soon as you can do that, guys, you're operating in a profit, and it's that simple. So Prime for Growth is in there. We've then got new gym members equals new PT clients. That's a marketing strategy. How to design your perfect product with obviously the product in there so you can take it, use that in its current form. Then we show you how to take a consult and then how to sell. So we give you the sales masterclass combined with the consultation process with the perfect product. At this early stage, guys, to cover your coaching fast, I don't care how you take payments. All right, so that's the one thing people say, well, what about setting up direct debit? Don't care, takes too long. It can take you a few days. You should be like, you could set up direct debit, guys, but whilst the direct debit teams that we cannot control are setting your debits up for you, you could already have signed 2 clients. So it's literally that simple. So we've condensed a new module there. And what might as well, a little share again here. So new content in leverage. So leverage, there's currently a video being uploaded here about 3-way setup sessions, which is now finished. So 3-way setups, and in leverage here we have some new content at the bottom about trainer meetings, how to hand sessions across to your trainer. We've got 3-way onboarding. There has been more training today finished as well this morning, which I recorded on subscriptions and how to monitor profit margins at scale. So you should always be monitoring your profit margins as you scale, as you leverage, and as you gain more traction in your business, and you obviously hire more staff. And then there's a list of you should have at least 8 to 10 subscriptions at that time as well. A lot of people kind of like, oh my God, like it's a lot of subscriptions that you have. Naturally, as you increase profit margin, as you increase the size of your business, your overheads will increase, but your profit margin should always be greater than your overhead. And we talk about that. So some good new training coming out there. As for new announcements, that's pretty much it, apart from obviously refreshing last week. We have the new marketing marathon content coming up. So obviously the next webinar in 40 minutes time, we're going to discuss that. And obviously go through where people are up to. We do already have someone who's generated 60 leads in the first 2 days of this week. So 60 is done and dusted, good quality. He smashed it. So shout out to Harrison. And with that being said, that is pretty much that. I think what I might as well do, just to continue my ramble, is basically highlight. So just going forward, so these webinars will be continuous the whole entire way through, all the way through to January. The only time that we will be having a break, so for you guys here and our followers that watch the episodes online, is just that week between Christmas and New Year, just because of when the days fall this year. Christmas is on a Monday, Boxing Day is on a Tuesday. I'm going to be taking the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off webinars. Apart from that, I will be doing webinars as per normal. And that is pretty much that, guys. There's nothing else to it. So there's just a 3-day gap there. Most people will probably take that week. With that being said, we will then be rocking and rolling with announcements for obviously the winners of our marketing marathon and how to obviously get ready for 2024. So that is that. Questions about anything now to do with anything and anyone's business at any stage of their business, they are at. I'm going to say the obligatory, if no one's got questions, we'll leave things here, but we know that that never materializes because I end up finding a way or finding something to ramble about. But any questions about anything to do with anybody, please. I know there are.
Simon.
Yes, Dan.
I've got a question for you.
Question.
What do you do when you find yourself dipping in terms of energy and, let's say, business prowess, or you're just like, I know this would be probably similar to what I would sort of feel like if to someone when it's training, when they're training, I'm like, you're just going to get it done. But I'm finding at this point, not that it's lasting, because I'm also feeling myself, long story short, getting fed up with my own excuses. So I've sort of been a bit lazy in the last 2 weeks. And what do you do in those times when you sort of feel your motivation or your effort dip and getting back into that, if you have a way of doing that at all?
Well done. This is a great question, bro. Honestly, I give you a lot of props for asking that, because it's quite like, this is the sort of stuff, guys, as well, that I know so many people have going through their mind. So many people feel like this. Has anyone here felt before, like flat, not in their groove? They've lost their mojo. They're lacking, like they're not executing. Every fucking person, to be honest with you, should be feeling or has felt or should feel like that a lot of the time. So look, here's the feedback. I'll wait for the headphones to be back on. There you go. All right. So look, here's the feedback. There's lots of, how do I put this? Like, hard work works at the end of the day. That's the one thing. But at the same time, you've got to work smart. Like, I wouldn't say that like brute force is the best course of action to take, especially when you're so busy with what you're doing, brother. I think at the same time as well, just relating to your situation, is when you're banging your head off a ceiling, or you're at least hovering around that ceiling and you're not forcing continuous growth, meaning that you're banging your head, it's a matter of time before burnout occurs. Now, we're all young trainers. There are trainers in this industry, guys, that are, you know, in their 60s, 70s, that have been slaving for a long time. And these guys never unlock true fulfillment. And I'm not saying that leverage is true fulfillment, but just to be able to work smart, right? What is it specifically that you're beating yourself up about when you say you haven't been in your groove and you're not executing? Like, what specifically is it about? Because it's not leverage. We know leverage will come. You know, I'm not going to force that. You know, I never force leverage. I highly recommend it for everybody, but it's up to you to come to me and say, like, look, I want to do it. So what is it you're? Yeah.
All the unfun tasks.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
All the admin stuff, which is so crucial. So it's not even that I discount the importance, because it's a non-negotiable. But I will go. I'm just procrastinating at the end of the day, just to sort of chill and do other things. I'm like, and I'll get to it. But I've all morning I was doing my sessions, and I'm like, why haven't I done what I need to fucking do? Yeah. So it's like, I know that business tracker.
That was the first one I knew.
Business tracker. Yeah, I'm just going to get through that school content as well, because I'm only delaying myself in the end, and it's like it's the auxiliary tasks. So I love the one-on-one sessions. They're easy as far as it goes in terms of the run of how much effort is required, mental and physical. I'll chill with my clients, we have a laugh, and the training's easy. But it's the auxiliary tasks which are so important. But I will go fuck it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow when I get a bit more time.
Yeah.
And it's like I sort of know the answer anyway. I just got to do it. But yeah, I'm sort of going through that bottom wave now where I'm like, okay, I've said to myself for the last week or two that I'll do it soon. I haven't done it. That's unacceptable. So sort of catching it at this point now.
Yeah, look, well done for bringing this up, right? So look, there are things that you can do, and that's what I need to be here. Is I need to be, words of advice and wisdom to try and help you get out of the bottom of the pit, right, and start working your way back up. Look, first and foremost, eventually you will get sick and tired of yourself and like not taking the action. You'll get sick and tired. So I say this to a lot of people, and this is why I don't force things on people anymore. If I try, it's like with us, Dan. If I say, look, we got to leverage, but then naturally you're like, yeah, that's cool, but let's just hover here for a bit. High 2s to 3K weeks, like you're doing well into the 6-figure range. Like you've got great turnover. I can't force the next step. I've learned over the years not to force it because I know as well, you eventually will get sick and tired of being in the position where you are at. And that will eventually be, which is where you're not quite there yet because you're like, oh, fuck it, I'll just put it to the side of it, right? And you're not, so eventually your body will tell you to change, and the entrepreneur inside you, the business mind inside you will say, enough's enough, man, I need to change this. Otherwise, your body will tell you. And this is where I say, like the older PTs in the industry, their bodies will tell them, look, you're gonna retire soon. And if we're talking about leverage specifically, it's better to do it sooner rather than later, right? But with that being said, I think you also need to make sure that you can minimize foggy tasks, the stuff that you don't have much fun doing, and there's a lot of them. Updating a database is something that is a really, really boring task to do, but can be outsourced easily. So I always recommend artwork and creation of artwork, creation of videos or social media content. Having social media, if you're pouring energy into that, you don't need to be, you really don't need to be. But then your business tracker, you need to do that. But database updating, social media content creation, artwork and graphic designing, outsource all of that. Outsource all of it. If you are a one-man band like yourself, like Jack, like Cam here as well, like Cassie only recently until, but like Monica recently until, like Ray as well, where your cash flow is fine, right? And it's more than fine, if I'm going to be honest. Your cash flow is in a great position, right? You're making well, closer towards 200K than you are 100, right? 3K weeks-ish. Outsource everything that you can, right? Outsource everything that you can to ensure that you have as much freedom to then eventually go, do you know what? I'm actually gonna go and do this work now because I don't have the burden on my shoulder of the shit tasks that we know. Let's be honest, if you don't do your business tracker, does anything change? No, but it will in the long run. I'm telling you right, if you don't do your business tracker, guys, in the long run, you will hurt. You'll pay a price for not doing it, right? You'll pay a price. So, but is it going to kill you? No. Is your business going to run into the ground? No, right? It's not. But remove the smaller tasks so that you then have time to be able to do them. I think relating to me personally, so this morning, so first and foremost, pre-frame, my PA is away for the next 4 weeks. Right, I was like, okay, cool, that's great. Like, I'll be able to handle everything. Fuck me. Like, I swear, one day into it, man, one day, and I was like, I need them back. Like, but they're having a holiday before they come back to Melbourne, and they've been based offshore for the last 16 months or something. So I said, look, take it if you want to take the time. But then you realize how much they really do help, right? But what I've then had to do is I've had to pick up the tools. I've had to go and do all those smaller things. When I do those smaller tasks and I get them out of the way, it enables me to breathe. So this morning I was up, and this is another thing, like, again, get up early. Like, this it might seem really base level, but for me, getting up at 5 is like necessity. It's pretty much necessity for me to get up at 5 to get all my work done. So then I can do 2 hours of webinars. And then if we're running ads and I'm selling, like, I can do calls and I can do 6 hours behind this freaking screen a day, right? But if I get up early and get a head start, and I don't have those things, because at the moment we're not marketing, right? Because I'm focusing energy into clients at this time of year because Christmas marketing marathon. I said to myself, well, crap, it's 9 o'clock, right? Or I think it was even this morning, 8. And I was like, I might as well do something, right? So create time so that you've got as much of it spare as possible, Dan, to have then as least amount of pressure on you to do the small tasks that you're putting to the side. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, and hopefully that kind of helps. But like, I'll be honest with you, creating content, like, I'll be really honest. When I say it's going to take us 6 to 8 months to create content, it's only going to take 6 to 8 months because I'm making it take 6 to 8 months. If I really needed to get my content done, like the whole of the leverage stuff and things like that, I could definitely get it done in 4 weeks. But it's not wise to put myself under a massive amount of pressure to do that. I'd rather give myself time, and then I can hit the timeline. Another thing to continue going on here is that, like I said, eventually your body will tell you, or you'll get sick and tired, right? Sometimes as well, you can be thrown a curveball, right? Something can happen in your life where you realize, I need to freaking do this now. For me, leveraging when we had our first kid, it was like with Archie, who's now 5, right? It's like, I was like, that is the time, because I was consulting back then. So I was in cruise mode, but I was like, that is the time. I said to myself, I am out full time of PT continuously. I'm out of it. And I said to myself, I got 9 months, right? And I said to my wife, I promise you by the time my son's born, I have nothing to do with a fitness business and I'm all in consulting. That's an example of the universe throwing you a curveball, right? That like gives you a reason to change. It gives you a reason to move. It gives you a reason to do the shit that you don't want to do. I was very comfortable doing the PT, and I was very comfortable doing the coaching, you know, for myself at a small scale, but not going all in. Again, it's the same thing as you, very comfortable doing 150K, right? Not going all in and leveraging, even though when you do that, you're just going to be like, why didn't I do this before? Like, that's what everyone will say. But sometimes life will throw you a curveball. If you know that you're slacking with something and you're putting something off, just wait for that curveball to happen. It's a matter of time. Your missus gets pregnant, do you know what I mean, bro? And then it's like, shit, maybe I need to, like, I might need to leverage my business now, or I want to create freedom so I can then be with my son or my daughter, right? Your child. There's really important sort of things that happen in your life, which are curveballs that will make you then change. But again, at the same time, you will find it within you to change when you know you need to, right? So hopefully that's a bit of a detailed breakdown and some little nuggets you can take from that, I think.
Yes, very much so. Thank you, mate.
No worries, sir.
I've got to get to work. Got to get to work.
No problem. Look, I mean, get to work. I mean, I don't want to force growth, but look, otherwise I would say hire a coach, but you have one. Here's a dangerous thing. If you have a coach and you're not accountable to that coach, that's a fucking problem. That is a problem, right? Always think about it like that, guys. Like, I wanted to change bad. I got to a point recently in my career and I was like, I saw a competitor who's not a competitor, but he's an online coach, right? This guy hired a business coach 3 years ago that I should have hired before him. And he went into this coaching company earning less money than I was doing 6 months ago. And now he does between 600 and 1.2 million a month. That's what he does in terms of his cash flow. When I heard that, I said, you fucking retard, Simon, why didn't you do it? Right? 3 years ago. If I took the leap of faith 3 years ago, I would be in the exact same position. And that's just an example of it, right? That's monumental numbers. It's huge. 1.2 million a month, not a year, it's a month, right? So I then got pissed off with my lack of taking action. I was growing the whole time, but I was growing like this. I wasn't growing like that. And it's not about continuous growth. It's not about chasing money. It's never about that, guys. But we're all here to impact people. We're all here to continuously progress in careers. Whether you're in a 9-to-5 or an entrepreneur, you want your career normally grows. You get promotions, you move through the ranks, and that's what happens. You're not running a business to go backwards, right? Do you know what I mean? So, you know, there's no ego to it. It's just, that's how it is. You move forward. And I found myself then, I was like, that's it. So what I went and then hired the next best coach, or not the next best one, the one above him. So I just skipped the first one that I should have done 3 years ago and went, I got to play catch up here. And it's not a competition, but I like friendly competition. If they can do it, why the hell can't I do it? Right? So then I just went and hired another coach, and since then we've had, like, you know, some great business growth. So and that's that. But yeah, it's sometimes you'll be forced, curveballs will be thrown, and that's that. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Shano, my man, let's go.
I just want to find out how everyone goes about doing their fitness test with their clients and weighing their clients and stuff like that and measuring.
Beautiful. Who wants to weigh in on fitness testing? This is an I say it's an acquired taste. Like, you don't, it's up to you if you do this sort of stuff. So who wants to, I'm not going to say anything here. Who's going to weigh in if they do that sort of stuff?
I do a little bit with your lunge and squat thing, Simon, that you taught us. I get them to do like max push-ups, and then I just get them to do 5 first. Then I correct their technique and I tell them, you know, this is the right way of doing it. Breathe in, breathe out, elbows pointing back, blah, blah, blah. And then they end up doing 12 push-ups instead of 15 or 18 that they can. And I'm like, yeah, you need to improve on that. And I can jot this down and then go into plank and then teach them lunge and squat as well.
Do you dedicate a session to do this, Jack? Sorry, do you dedicate one session?
No, it's part of the no, it's just part of the consult. You know how you say show them and then show them better.
Oh, okay.
This is after I sign them up.
Yeah,
so
on
them for the
yeah. So for us in Good Life, we have like a what do you call this? Body scan machine. So I do that, and then I just take pictures, and that's it. Then we keep a track of it.
Perfect. I was just trying to follow the protocols.
Yeah,
no, that's what I do. Yeah, that's
so you use the body scanner, Jack, and it, like, so
yeah.
else do, like, does anyone else here do like regular fitness testing with their clients? That's let's go.
Yep.
So I change it up all the time. I try not to keep it the same. So what I do is I go, I do push-ups, pull-ups, either body weight or assisted pull-ups, and I put a timer on. So I start them off at 30 seconds if they're really like beginner. For more advanced people, it's 40 seconds, and then they try like just get as many reps in as possible. I'll do sit-ups, I'll do planks, and then if they get to like the 1 minute mark and they're just pumping out those reps, then I swap the exercises out. And so that way, but still have the timer thing on, same structure, it's just a different exercise. Sometimes though, this is where you have to cater it for different people, because all my there's some who want to work on general fitness, cardiovascular fitness, some just want to do weights. And so every end of the month, you'll have a look at the clients, all the people who want to do strength, and I do all of the compound movements in 1 week, not one session. I break it up into different sessions. Okay, what is your 10 RPM on the deadlift? What is your 12 RPM for your bench press? And we'll just compare that month by month by month. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense to me, 100%. So, like, basically, do you choose 1 week a month to do this, or what's the frequency of your fitness testing?
Yeah, I just do every end of the last week of the month. Yep.
Perfect. So this is what I like. So thank you there, Jack and Tan. I would do this at the last week of every month. The last week of every month, and this is what I recommend to everybody. You can do goal setting and reassessments of their goals, right? And we put that in the PT session log. Are you using the PT session log, Shano, with every client? Yep, perfect. What I would do is I would literally just choose body weight exercises at the start, and then from there you can obviously, like, you could go from body weight squats if they're really, really not like beginner level, but then from there you can go up into barbell squats and stuff like that. And you're doing maximum reps with 60 kilos on a bar, whatever. Now, you want to obviously do this, like I would do once a month. You could do a fitness test as well, but it depends what the fitness testing is going to do for their goals, right? So I didn't do fitness testing with a lot of people. However, there was probably half a dozen people that I coached over the years that wanted specific like police tests to be completed. They were going for the army, or they were going, right? And everyone kind of gets these people occasionally, right? These guys are do fitness testing on a weekly or fortnightly basis. Weighing clients every session. Every session is what I do. The PT session log prompts you to do that. I don't care whether they're weight loss clients or whether they're strength gain or like muscle gain clients. I'd weigh them every single session. I know a lot of people here that like compete and stuff like that. You're probably monitoring your weight. I know like Cassie like still would know her weight to within 100 or 200 grams, you know, like each day, you know, like coming off post comp. And that's that. I know Bethany, you're probably tracking your stuff quite closely as well, right? So with general population people, I highly recommend that you are at least weighing them once a week, and otherwise every session. But fitness testing doesn't need to be done realistically unless they're needing to compare their progress, because your measurements and your weight on the scales will show progress. But yeah, hopefully that helps a bit, Shado. Any like questions more?
What I sort of meant, I meant the fitness assessment form that we first sign them up with, where you measurement the chest, the waist, the hips, the thighs, the calves, the arms.
So also when you do the reoccurring measurements.
Well, I'm just doing because I'm only just started, so I'm only just signing the clients up now. I want to know if everyone does that, the measurements when they start off with, and the fitness tests where they make them do maximum push-ups, maximum chin-ups, it's got here, maximum sit-ups, maximum burpees, squats.
Yeah. So that sheet there, right? That sheet's an additional sheet that I give to people if you want a basic document to log it. A lot of people here will use Trainerize and they'll track things like that. But look, at the start of a journey, definitely get before photos, and then for sure, definitely get their measurements, and definitely do. I say definitely do. You can do a fitness test with them. A lot of people do like fitness testing in the consults, and this is just never recommend doing it. And the worst thing you've got to be aware of with fitness testing, guys, is if you put someone through a fitness test when they're unfit and get them to do a maximum amount of push-ups and stuff like that, it can develop a very negative relationship with that exercise. Be careful with that. The most important thing I would do is measure them, all right, and then weigh them.
This is what I found yesterday. I felt uncomfortable when she was doing the push-ups. She was really struggling. She could only do one, and I felt.
Yeah.
No, I just wanted to know how other people go about it.
The way I do it, every month they get an evolved body scan done. I do their measurements. Like last week, every month is a body scan. I do all their tape measurements. If I've got them on a program and it's due to finish, then I'll do a strength test. But if they're a new beginner, their strength test will be a 1RM on like a leg press, a chest press machine, a shoulder press, lat pull down. I'll get them to do a 500-meter row and a max plank. And then if they're due at the end of a program, then I'll retest that. But in that meantime, I'm teaching them how to do deadlifts, squats, overhead presses, barbell rows, all that sort of stuff. And you teach them how to do that so I can get them off machines. And then we start doing that 1RM testing maybe every 2 or 3 months with that stuff so they can see that they've got progress. But every month it's measurements and body scans. So their weight might not change on the scale, but they can see I've dropped 3 kilos of fat and I've put on 4 kilos of muscle. So that way they don't get discouraged by just going, oh, the scale hasn't bloody moved. I just had one of the girls, she's 140 kilo. And after 6 weeks, she was 1 kilo down, but she put on 4 kilos of muscle and lost 3 kilos of fat and 21 centimeters in like 5 or 6 weeks. So she was pretty happy with that. But if I wasn't doing it on a regular basis, she'd be going, oh, I haven't lost anything.
That's definitely right. And that's something that obviously only the body scanner is going to be able to pick up. You know what I mean? The body scanner will pick up the muscle mass gain versus fat loss drop. Do you know what I mean? And that's not typical as well. You can gain 3 kilo of muscle a month. Like it's pretty damn good. Like I'd be pretty happy with that, to be honest with you. Like, but
I just do it all the time.
Yeah.
Like constantly, I've got women putting on 3 and 4 kilos of muscle like in a month or a month and a half.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing stuff. And it's because it's hard. It's not easy to do that. I mean, a lot of people will get a lot of gains quickly, especially if they haven't been exercising. But if you're a seasoned vet and you try and put on 4 kilos of muscle in a month, it's quite hard. But that's that. Yeah, again, great feedback. I think anyone with a like scanning opportunity to do body scans is massive, because you can chuck them on it. It will give detailed feedback. It enables you to then charge a bit extra for your service if you want to. But that's that. Tan, want to weigh in with a bit more here? Oh, Nat, you're a different question. Okay. So yeah, I would do, so weigh them every session, Shayna. Weigh them every session. Photos at the start, and I do photos monthly along with measurements monthly. But is it essential to do fitness testing? No. And a lot of people will be thinking as well, oh shit, like I've got a fitness test at the end of the month, and you're going to do that because you're going to do it ongoing in a paid session. Right, so make sure as well, guys, and this is a very, very important tip, if you're going to be doing anything along the lines of measurements, weighing, and reassessing goals, having a little bit more of a detailed look into what they're doing and what's going on behind closed doors, or doing a fitness test, you do that inside a paid session. They are paying you for that. If that means that they're doing a bronze package, you signed up a bronze yesterday, I think, Shane, or the day before. So if you've got someone doing a bronze and they want to go for one session, what they've got to realize is that once a month, when we revisit your goals and see your progress that week, that's your session. Like, and again, we know enough, guys, through a lot of research and sort of data that we've seen, is that people are investing into their health and fitness, and they will do if it's a priority for them. It just comes down to whether a slab of freaking VB is more important than getting rid of the slab on their gut. Do you know what I mean? And that's all it is. So yeah, that's that. Hopefully that helps, right? And I put it into a monthly loop and do the measurements and that. Tan, yeah.
I was just wondering if you've had a chance to have a look at Google's new appointment scheduling feature on Google Calendar.
Yes.
It's a free one.
Yes.
How is it?
I don't know, because I'm stuck in my OCD Calendly loop. I won't transit. I very, very rarely will transition softwares because of, not because of loyalty, but just because I don't have the headspace to try stuff out new. And it's just a personal preference. Like, I'm like, right, if I've got 10, 15 minutes spare, I'm going to do something that I need to do rather than I'll just play around and have a look. However, that is me being Dan, right? I'm putting it off, right? I'm putting it off. Like, I should just look at it. I've had people tell me about it. For me, I like Calendly, but I don't think there would be anything wrong with using the Google Calendar booking system. At the end of the day, they've seen a loophole in the market where they can probably take a lot of the business from Calendly. Not that that's their intention, but it will integrate perfectly with Google Calendar, which is what we want to use. Have you looked at it at all, Tam?
No, I haven't. I was going to, but then I didn't have enough time.
Anybody who looked into it? Tane, you looked into this, bro? You strike me as a dude who might have looked into that. Calendly, Google's calendar booking software, the new Google calendar booking software.
No, I didn't realize they have one. I will though.
Yeah, check it. It's free as well, so check it if you want to. Yeah, check it out. I mean, Calendly for me, I used that thing for like, I don't know how many years, a long time. Like yeah, a long time. It'd be 8 years plus probably. Like, I think I'm happy with it. Kind of like one of those small subscriptions that you just end up paying for. It's like a Loom subscription. And for me, Loom, when we spoke about Loom recently, Tane, like when you listed your subscriptions, do you find that thing is freaking useless and that it crashes all the time? You have to constantly update it?
Yeah, a little bit. But on that calendar thing though, I'll look it up. But if it is good and it fits through Google Calendar, it's probably worth doing for the fact of being able to, if we can set times for our trainers to be able to book in PT sessions, then people like FIFO and Shiftworks be able to just book in straight into the trainer's calendar. Because that's the only issue I've had with Calendly is you can't link different events to different calendars. All of them have to go to the one calendar. That's my only thoughts there. Anyway,
that is correct. Yeah, that is correct. I think definitely. Look, I'd say that it would probably be a green light town at the end of the day. But I haven't. No, I haven't checked it out, so I can't really give you any feedback on that one. Has anybody here else checked it? Let me ask a question here as well. Put your hand up, please, if you are not using Calendly. Good. You're all off the hook. I had a trainer who's like severely leveraged. Like there's like 5 staff members who's manually booking people in all the time and getting staff to send manual reminders. I'm like, bro, you like get this stuff done, right? And we literally off the back of this morning's content creation talked about the subscriptions that you have, and that subscriptions are freaking necessary. They are necessary. It's an annoyance when they cost money. Of course it is. Everything would be great if everything was free, but like at the end of the day, they save you a lot. This guy is wondering about his show rates. I said, bro, show rates, you shouldn't have bad show rates. You're using Calendly, right? Nah, never did that. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm telling you, the show rates with Calendly just puts you on a pedestal straight away because of the professionalism of that automated text messages and emails and stuff like that. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, check it out, and I think it will be good to go for sure. It definitely will be. I've got a question. Obviously, Aaron, I wanted to get to your question as well here. So ideally for the best traction on social media, how many business social proof posts should be aimed for per week, and what's the ideal number without bombarding audiences but still showing what we're doing? There's no right and wrong, man, with that. And it's a small area of importance. It's not too important, if I'm really honest. That's the first thing I want to say. I think with social media, guys, the one thing that you want to be able to do is you just want to be able to just post wins of your clients. That's all you need to do, but do it consistently. Don't go like 3 weeks without posting stuff, 3-4 weeks, right? But in terms of like the right volume, there is like for the best traction, like you're not going to get the best traction based on volume. You'll get it based on the quality and the topic of the content itself. If you want to get traction, go get married, have a kid, post about your dog, right? You'll get good traction. I put a post up last week about like being open about sharing wins. I never post photos with me and like any of my what's the word? All your luxury items of life. And I never post photos with me and my freaking Range Rover. I don't do that. But like at the end of the day, you should be proud about sharing your wins. But I did this post about going deep into like why I don't do it, and it's because people couldn't relate to it, and they told me after like 4 years that there was an element of jealousy and envy. And when they did tell me that, I was like, oh, that's great. Like it made me feel like it wasn't me, but they kind of said it was me at the time. That's a very deep post, a very emotional post. And there was like 70 or 80 people like that. And like it's not huge amounts, but you know what I mean, guys? Like if you want to get the best traction basically means interactions, which is likes, comments, shares, views, whatever. Post the right content, like the best transformations. Make it deep. So make sure your copy is good. Make sure you're using the right emojis. Like I always say, if you just put like angry emojis instantaneously, people gravitate to it because people love drama. Do you know what I mean? And it is that simple. It's very, very true. But show off the clients that are getting 10, 20, 30 kilos weight loss, because they'll see that client and be like, holy crap, that's amazing. Have you ever seen videos online of like morbidly obese people turn into like really good shape? I think we all have, right? Have you ever seen how many hundreds of thousands of likes they get? It's because people are very supportive of people that change their life around. So when it's like, hey, my client lost 1 kilo, don't post that. Like that's an insult to your company. It's an insult to your company. But what it also shows, even though you're proud of that client, it shows that that's the results that you want to share, when realistically you've got much more life-changing results that you could be sharing, or much more life-changing content and inspirational content that you could be sharing, relatable content that a lot more people might find a bit more engaging, that will get you the best traction. Does that help, ads? Hopefully. Good stuff, my man. Nice. Cool. Questions? Any questions to do with anything about anything? Thank you, Dan, for your question today, bro. That was a really good question, bro. A lot of people in that, they get into those situations. A lot of people. So well done for sharing. Who here has launched their marketing? Anyone launched yet? Cool. Ray, Aaron. Is that your ads, Aaron? Is that you? Are you doing? Yeah. Okay. We'll talk about the.
Yeah, I have.
You have as well, Shayna. Well done. Good stuff. The rest of you guys, you've got plenty of time. We're going to talk about that next. We're going to dive deep into it today. Any other questions whatsoever to do with anything to do with your business at all? We're good. All right, guys, let's jump across to the marketing marathon. A few minutes early, we'll let people gather in there and join in, and then we're going to really ramp up. We're going to delve into, again, what strategies to use to get this marathon up and running to ensure that you're doing just like Harrison has done and has generated 60 leads in his first 24 hours or so. So with that being said, jump across. I will see you in the marketing marathon shortly.